change management is, again, it's also a term that's used very often. It's like, what does it mean? Sounds simple enough, right? So you're doing some changes and you inform some people. Would be nice if it would be that easy, but a lot of times it's actually showing quite a number of challenges. You don't take it very seriously. You assign junior people to it. You do not really care about how you communicate. You talk to everyone in the same way, but people are interested in different things. As one very obvious example is, on an executive level, you probably don't have a lot of time to go into the details, so I don't want to know all the details. I don't want to feel stupid when you provide me an update about stuff that I don't understand or I don't care about. I need to know on a decider level, where does the project stand? Mm-hmm. Whereas on a programmer level, if I need to do I need to set up specific functionality in the system. I need to be very specific. So in this case, two different stakeholders need two different kinds of information. You need to have one person who can talk to both in the same way and can be effective doing that. So therefore, the following suggestions. First is, you should assign a change management lead, so somebody who really owns this. Mm-hmm. In this case, I would suggest you use someone from your company, because you need to have good relationships with the different stakeholders that I mentioned before. That's usually someone within your own company. You don't want to pay a consulting company big fees to do that.
I would hope so.
If you want to have support, I'm pretty sure there are more than enough offerings to do that, right? If you need support, I would suggest use a little bit of time, but this is something you should invest in yourself, because this will not go away. This is ongoing. An ongoing position that you need. And again, you need to engage all the different teams that we mentioned before. I don't want to go through all of this, but there's more to it than you would imagine, right? So it's like you introduce new products. When a new product is introduced, you go through a whole change to set up your CPQ tool again, and these people need to know who is doing what, when, how long does it take when I introduce something new, how long does it take to take something out that's obsolete, and so on. And therefore, you need to have a change leader who's really coordinating all this. You also need to determine plans that you may need. A rollout plan, for example, cutover plan. There are more plans. Rollout plan is, I want to roll out the solution. Do I want to roll it out in all of the U.S.? Do I just roll it out in a local market, smaller, to see how it works, and then have plans to roll out more products later, and so on. So a whole bunch of considerations that you could put into this. Another one is the cutover plan. I have open orders, hopefully, before I change to the CPQ tool. How do I treat these open orders? Do I finish all my open orders in my old system, or do I cut them over into my new system? So a whole bunch of things that need to be thought about. These are just examples. There's obviously more. Training plan, I think, is self-explanatory, but you need to have someone who's looking into this. And as I mentioned with the example over here, you want to get the senior executives engaged. This is very important. If there's no buy-in from your top management, people might get the impression it's not that important. If the boss is not really looking into this, maybe it's not that important, you can do something else. This touches many areas, as we have seen. It sits right on this intersection between CRM, ERP, touches many stakeholders. Therefore, the senior person should definitely have a stake in this and should actively support this. And you need to talk to everyone. It doesn't matter if it's the boss or if it's a programmer who is sitting somewhere offshore thousands of miles away. Everyone needs to be engaged, but they need different kinds of engagement, so you need to have someone who really gets this across.
So it sounds to me like in this best practice, it doesn't have to be complicated, but well before you start the project, you really believe in assigning an internal owner to have change management leadership, and you should have a plan for some level of regular communication to the key decision makers and key stakeholders. And inside of that, then you're going to have second-level decisions like how are you going to cut over orders, where are you going to roll out, and so on. But that needs to be thought about before you get started.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, good. Let's go to the next best practice then.
Just one more point to the change management. You can also check Mind Tools. That's an app. In the App Store, they have some ideas. When you check for change management, maybe you find something that's interesting to you that you want to follow up on.
That's a good tip.